Hi, boys and girls. Hi, St. George Sunday School. I really miss you guys, and I just wanted to meet with you today. I want to talk about St. Gregory the Illuminator, a little bit of a lesson. Oh, I can see some hands, even though I'm not in church. This is virtual. I see some of you know already who he was. Yeah, he was the man responsible for having Armenia as a state, having Armenia be the first nation to embrace Christianity as a nation. But his story began way back when in 257. He was born of Armenian nobles, and he married and later had 2 sons. He and his wife agreed after a while to separate. She went into a nunnery, and he served a monastic life, as was customary in those days. But St. Gregory was always raised as a Christian and educated in Greek, and always rejecting paganism, which was practiced in Armenia at the time. He was always refusing rituals offensive to all these Christian beliefs he had. He was the son of the Parthenian noble, Anak, and King Dirtad was also a noble, of course. He was the ruler of Armenia at that time. Those 2 gentlemen met many years later. In fact, St. Gregory went posing as his secretary. He probably wanted to make amends for his father's being responsible for King Dirtad III's father's demise, way back when in a bloody battle. During a pagan religious ceremony, when St. Gregory was there with Dirtad, Dirtad ordered St. Gregory to put floral wreath at the foot of the goddess Anahit. And of course, St. Gregory refused and was forced to say he was a Christian, at which point Dirtad was really angered, and he became even more enraged when people said he was a son of Anak, the traitor who had killed his father so many years ago. So what happens is Dirtad III tortured and imprisoned this man in the dungeon in Khorvirab, which is called Deep Pit, 13 years. And he survived only through the generosity of a kind-hearted Christian woman who used to throw a loaf of bread to him every day. Think about this, living alone for 13 years. What did he do? He turned to God, of course. He was in a difficult position and had to make difficult choices. Have you ever been there? Probably not in such desperate conditions. So what does one do? I've actually felt truly alone also, isolated from other friends, family, and desperately needing God's help. Guess what? He really knows you, and he gives you the strength and gives you the help he knows you need. He knows everyone. Back to our story. Remember, St. Gregory is in this pit. So during this time, a group of nuns led by Gaianad fled to Armenia. They were fleeing from Roman persecution. And Dirtad heard about this, demanding to marry Ripsime, one of the maidens. And she, of course, refused. So this group was all tortured and killed. This man, Dirtad III, wandered around like a madman, an animal, because of the refusal of this lovely maiden to take his hand in marriage. Dirtad's sister, Khosroviduk, had a dream at this point. She saw St. Gregory and telling him he alone could cure Dirtad. So, heeding his sister's advice, he called St. Gregory from the pit in 297. And lo and behold, St. Gregory cured Dirtad. He baptized Dirtad III along with members of the royal court and upper class, all as Christians. And because of that, Dirtad converted to Christianity in 301. He was so very thankful for what St. Gregory did. He issued a decree granting Gregory full rights to begin carrying on the conversion of the whole country to Christianity. Same year, 301, Armenia became the first nation to adopt Christianity as its state religion. St. Gregory became St. Gregory the Illuminator, the first Catholicos of the Armenian Apostolic Church, honored for converting Armenia to Christianity. People can visit this area now. Presently, St. Asfazatin Church, which was constructed in 1662, stands there. At the site of the pit is a monastery called Gregory, remember? Deep Pit, a place of pilgrimage which faces beautiful Mount Ararat and almost on the border of our present-day Armenia and Turkey. It is still used. People climb through the steep descent and visit. And I know some of you have been there. In fact, when I was teaching this some years ago, one of my students added extra facts about his experience in Gregory. I thought that was so neat. So he also was teaching me. But please note this beautiful story, especially during the holiest of seasons in our journey through Lent toward Easter and the resurrection. St. Gregory was responsible for enlightening us to the meaning of Christ and love and hope. Can you now think and reflect 3 ways we need to make difficult choices, sometimes to live God's way, just as St. Gregory did? Sit quietly and think about these, and let God enter your thoughts. You're welcome to share them with me the next time we meet, or you can be very private. Just enjoy that time alone with God. I hope to see you real soon, real soon. Meantime, be safe. God bless you, little ones, and God bless us, everyone.